What's the deal, my people? You know it is Don Tony Teflon, and I'm back at you another one, and this one is from Season 2, Episode 8. A whole lot of stuff went on in this episode, and we're going to break it all down. At the end of the episode, I will give you all of my theories of what I think is going on, so make sure you tune in until then. And if you're into something like that, then make sure you subscribe, click that bell, so you can be notified every time I drop a new video. All right, my family, let's get right into it. The episode starts off with Kenny's mom telling Kenny everybody's still sleeping, but do you want me to make you some food? While she's trying to make him some food, all of a sudden the phone starts ringing. He answers the phone and a song starts playing. Now, I'm going to get to the meaning of this song at the end of this video, but what the song does say is, they touch, they break, they steal. No one here is free. Here they come for three, unless you stop the melody. And we'll go through all of that, I promise you, when we get to the theory part. After that, we see Kenny's mom Pot all of a sudden has a bunch of cicadas all coming out of it that fly all over the place. And then it's revealed that Kenny is sleeping and this is all a dream. After that, we pick up with Randall and Jim, and they're still trying to get this drone to take the antenna way above the tree line so that Jim can get a signal. Jim is still fixated on this one thing that he thinks that's going to help them get out of here. So as they fix up this whole drone and try to put it above the tree line, it's just too heavy. It will not go all the way up in the air. After this, Randall starts pushing his theory once again that there is a mole in the town. In fact, Randall doesn't think that there's just one mole. Randall thinks that there's multiple moles in this town, that it has to be more than one person keeping this experiment going. And he starts questioning everything that Jim has said to him. Questioning, did you actually see certain people die? Was this just part of the experiment? Do they want you to believe that this person died? In actuality, they did not die. And that's what he's putting inside of Jim's head, because that's the type of dude Randall is. Now, 100% Randall could be onto something. It could be something like this playing out. But I think that Randall's mind is getting the better of him, and his conspiracy theory stuff is going to ultimately get him in trouble. Sarah makes an appearance after being out a couple of episodes and says that she wants to go back into the forest, take a talisman, and go and find that lighthouse. Boyd tries to say, why do you want to do such a thing? And basically, she's shunned in town, and she has nothing to do, and she's bored. She's just sitting in a church, and she wants to be helpful. She wants to do something to get in the good graces of the town once again. So Boyd tries to calm her down and tries to set her off. Now, if it was me, I would have let her go. I would have said, here's a talisman. You go out there, do your thing. Or I would have said, I will come with you and I will help you get this done. After this, we see Tabitha and Jade, and she takes Jade over to the hole where her and Victor escaped from. Jade asks her specifically, is this where you seen those drawings? Were they down in this cave? She says yes. Were those creatures down in this cave also? She says yes. So he wants to go down there. She says there's no way she's going back in there. He says that would be suicide, but they come to the realization that Victor also seen what was on those caves, and Jade at this point is fed up because Victor is withholding a lot of information when they had a deal that if he played the violin for him, that he would tell him everything. And it seems like Victor is picking and choosing what he wants to tell certain people, and Jade is not having it anymore. After that, we see Victor go visit Ethan. Now he's trying to return the favor that Ethan gave him, the markers, so he wants to return the favor, and by doing so, he gives him his old jacket that he wore when he was his age in this town. He says the weather is changing and you're going to have to need a warm jacket. So that means at some point when Victor was here as a child, it wasn't always sunny. At some point it must have been cold because he had this jacket to begin with. After that, we switch up to Boyd again, and Boyd is with Ellis, and somehow miraculously Ellis is just fine. Like, Ellis He said he ain't gonna be out there playing no games, but he's not hurt. He feels real good. Everything is right. We don't see Fatima in this episode for some reason, but we do see Ellis, and Ellis appears to be fine. So we've seen Ethan heal a little bit from this town faster than normal, and now we've seen the same thing happen to Ellis, but Jim still seems to be limping around a bunch. I don't understand how it's not healing him. All of a sudden Donna comes out of nowhere and she's like, boy, what are you doing here? She tells him about Elgin's dream. Boyd then goes to Elgin's room to talk to him. He sees him knitting, says it keeps him peaceful, and he talks about his dream that he was being drowned, and somehow in this dream he woke up with water coming out of his mouth. So somehow his dream has affected him in the real time. Some type of Nightmare on Elm Street type shit. He then gives Boyd the advice of using a silver bullet, putting the bile in the bullet, and then shooting it at the monster and seeing what happens. We then switch to Ethan and all of them at the diner, and then inside of the pocket of the jacket, it seems like there's a crayon or marker holder, and Victor didn't see this for a very long time. It affects Victor emotionally. He tries to leave, but Jade comes in there like gangbusters and confronts Victor, grabs him up by the shoulder, and is like, listen, you're gonna spill your guts. Everything you're saying, you need to help us already so we can get out of here. Victor storms off, and Tabitha's like, yo, you're acting like an asshole. You gotta get your asshole down at least for 10 minutes out of the day. We then switch back to Sarah, who is now being confronted by Jim and Randall, because Randall believes that something's going on with her and that her brother truly was not killed. But as they confront her, she gets all emotional about her brother, and Donna then comes in while they're doing this. And this makes Randall suspicious, because he's like, oh, just when we start questioning her, here comes Donna to the rescue. And it does seem like Donna was Johnny on the spot a lot of times this episode, so I can see exactly where he's coming from. But after this situation, Donna tells him straight up, listen, you need to get the fuck up out of here and everything else. Jim then tries to convince Randall, let's play low-key, let's observe everybody from afar. And how he plans on doing that is they say, we're going to sneak out at night, meet me in the RV, we'll bring a talisman, we'll chill out in the RV, and we'll see if you can see something people don't want us to see, because we're not supposed to be outside during the night. He tells his daughter so that she does not worry, and then he talks to Donna, and Donna tells him all about Randall, saying, listen, this guy's a powder keg, he's ready to blow up, you know, she's seen people like him, don't be going putting stuff in this guy's head because he's just a loose cannon. He says that he didn't tell Randall about the voice and everything is going to be fine. Don't worry about it. But he doesn't give up all the information that he plans on doing with Randall to Donna at this time. Victor is then back in his room looking at the crayon marker holder, and then Tabitha comes over, and Tabitha tries to get him to open up a little bit, trying to figure out what's going on. It seems that Victor is looking at her as a mother figure, and he is willing to open up to her. He tells her that people shouldn't be asking questions, because when they do, they usually don't come back. They usually die when they start asking too many questions. And that's what he's afraid of happening. But he says that he has a group of other pictures, and these pictures may reveal everything that he is forgetting and that he can't remember. After this, we see our number one dude, Boyd, back again. He goes to confront Kenny. He notices that there's a burn mark on Kenny's arm. Kenny tries to shrug this burn mark off, and he tells him about the plan of making the magic bullet, and they figure they got to get some more bile to do this, so even though they have the jar, so that means they're going to have to head back over to the clinic. And you know, Kenny don't mind going out to the clinic because he knows his boo thing is up in there, so you know that dude don't go. Speaking of Kenny's boo thing, she's in there. Her girlfriend is once again going through withdrawals, and Boyd says that this is not even going to get better. These withdrawals are going to get worse. But there's a sound she keeps hearing, and it's down in the basement. Kenny and Boyd go downstairs to the boiler room to try to see exactly what's going on in this sound. And then we see the cicadas all over the body of the Smile Monster. It seems that the people who have seen these cicadas are people who have seen this music box. For some strange reason, they are able to see or have had these type of visions. After this, Donna comes in there and she wants to know what the hell is going on. Johnny on the spot once again, as Randall said. After this, we see Tabitha and Victor. They go back out to where he stashed all of the cars, and while he's there, he opens up the trunk of a car, and this is where he supposedly kept all of his pictures down inside of this car. So when he opens up the trunk, there are a bunch of pictures in there, a bunch of drawings in there. Boyd shows Donna the Smile Monster's body, and all the cicadas somehow aren't in the room. They're gone. Donna's like, what? What do you mean? And all of a sudden, she says, you need to get this body out of here, and you need to burn this motherfucker. And we need to just get rid of this and everything else. But Boyd is mesmerized of how these cicadas were not in the room. So now we have to start thinking that these cicadas aren't really out there. They're just in people's heads. And the people that can see them are the people who have seen the music box. So far we had Christy's girlfriend is one person who has heard them. Kenny has seen them directly, and Boyd has seen these cicadas directly. After this, he's like, if these dreams are coming alive, like they're able to pull some Nightmare on Elm Street shit and affect us in the real world, we're gonna have to take shifts and stay awake. So they all devise a plan of where to stay, and Randall is spying on them the whole time this goes on. After that, we then finally get Victor. When he looks through the pictures, he realizes that it wasn't him that drew these pictures whatsoever. Even though he thought that it was him, his memories come back to him, and it's revealed that he had a sister named Eloise. And Eloise was down there with him when his mother told him to stay, but she got scared and she ran out after his mother. He felt like he should have protected her, and he didn't protect her, and this is what supposedly caused Eloise's death. Randall rolls up with a van to Donna, and he sits there and says, hey, I'm sorry about the way I acted. We gotta work together. Donna doesn't seem like she's buying it, but it seems like she's nice enough to give this dude a chance just because he's trying to be like, all right, I'm sorry, maybe we can work together, maybe we can get this thing. But her face says that she doesn't buy it. After that, we see Boyd and Kenny go out and they set this monster on fire. I think they should have set a bunch of monsters on fire, but Kenny's the one who does the honors and lights that monster and puts him on fire. After they put this monster on fire, we then switch over to Victor and Tabitha finds one picture especially interesting, and it's that Eloise drew a lighthouse, and Victor says that his mother was going to the lighthouse to save the children. And we know Tabitha also had a dream about a lighthouse, so that's probably why it stuck out to her. But now we have some confirmation about what's going on in this lighthouse. I knew the people in the show were running the show were in there, but now we see that she was going there to try to rescue the children. They must have been being held captive up in there. Boyd gets back into town. He makes some small talk. We then switch to Jim during the night. He's going out to the RV. When he gets out there, he sees the van and the door open, and then he calls for Randall, and then we see that Randall has beat up and kidnapped Donna. He's holding her against a tree. She's tied up at knife point, and he says, let's do a new plan, and that's how it ends. Great episode. Let's get right into all these theories. Since we ended on Donna, let's start with Donna. I think it is curious that Donna has popped up many a times. Johnny on the spot this episode just seems to be the right time when she does pop up. Could be a coincidence, but that did happen this episode. If someone was going to be the mold, I told you it has to be someone who has been there for a very long time. Donna does check that box off also. But do you want to believe that Randall is right? Is he right or wrong? And I think it's going to be proven by next episode. It's nighttime. There's no way out of this situation. He has a knife. Is Jim going to be able to get the wrestler knife away from him and get that out of his hands? I doubt it. Is he going to be able to convince him to free up Donna? I doubt it. So this is what's going to happen here. Either Donna is a mole and she gets discovered that she's a mole, or it's going to be Jim's fault that Randall got Donna killed. It's going to be that simple, and that's the situation that we're going to see. So I love the actress who plays Donna. I love the character of Donna, but it's going to be one or the other. Donna is going to either get killed, and it's going to be Jim's fault because of the things he did with Randall, and then most likely Jim will have to kill Randall for it or take Randall out, right? We seen them have the conversation earlier, and Jim said, I'm not going to let this place turn me into something I'm not, talking about being a killer. Will this place turn him into a killer because he has to take Randall out in order to save Donna, or because he's got Donna's kill? I think that wasn't a throwaway line, and I think that's what Jim is going to be pushed to when this is all said and done. He's going to have to make that choice if he has the ability to make that choice. But we'll see. It's not looking good for our girl Donna. It truly doesn't. I don't think she gets out of this. I think most likely Donna's going to get killed. All right, up to the next theory, and that is the song we heard with Kenny. So let's try to break it down real quick. It says they touch, they break, they steal. So they steal. That could be a couple of people if they're talking about. It could be Christy's girlfriend. We've seen her steal. It could be Elgin. We think that he stole to give to Sarah. So if I have to pick, it's one of those for someone who has stolen. All right, they touch. Touching things, everybody is touching stuff, right? So it's hard to pick exactly who is touching everything. And they break. Who has been broken? We look at, I think we're only dealing with people who have seen the music box. So when we go back real quick and we go to they touch, I would have to say, if I pick one person since everyone's touching stuff, I would say Boyd, because Boyd has touched the Smile Monster and killed the Smile Monster. So they break. Who have we seen broken? Is it Elgin? Is it Kenny? Is it, again, Chrissy's girlfriend? Could be any one of those three. After that, we hear no one here is free. Now, I don't think that they're talking about them, the people in town. I think they're talking about themselves, the people who are on the phone. I think it's the same people that are turning on the music. I think those are the people that are doing it, and they're not free either. I believe that these are aliens being held captive. And it says they come for three. So it's three people that they want, that they're trying to get. What three people could it be? It could be Victor, it could be Ethan, it could be Sarah. That's the three I would just go with right off the bat, and then I'll do some more research and see who else I think it is, unless you stop the melody. So the melody is this music box. We've heard Martin say that when the box stops playing, that's when they come. So why would they want to stop the melody unless they're talking about stopping it from appearing in people's minds? That's what I'm thinking is going on with that. But you tell me in the comment section. I'll do a full in-depth video about that whole song once I've had enough time to think about it. These are just my thoughts right off the back from the top of my head. And I still think that Kenny's mom is dirty. Join us tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern. We will have the actor who plays Elgin on the Escaping From podcast. It's going to be a great time. Make sure you're there so you can call in and ask him your questions. And if you like the way I do this, please thumbs up this, spread this across the realm, and of course, subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace and stay sexy.